this game. Let's talk about this game, man. It's a big game, last game of the day, and Argentina 2, Mexico nil. Bro, I told you, I had utmost confidence in what. Look. I had to take Messi's word for it, right? He said, okay, I know we messed up, we effed up, we gonna come back strong. Don't worry about it, we got it, and they did. Mexico, even though the game was more of a midfield type battle, because if you go and you check the stats really quick, 5 shots, 4 shots. You see that?
Yeah.
So it was basically a battle in the midfield. It was very physical, very feisty, very ugly. And Argentina came out on top because they created a better chances and they stole the big moments. And
Yeah.
when you go back and you look at the Messi goal, right? That was brilliant. How he scored that from that distance is, unbelievable.
Yep.
The reaction time. Think about it. He hit it from a distance, and Ochoa couldn't even react in time to get across because he was also blocked by a few of his defenders. But it just shows the quickness. And we talk about when you move the ball quick and you're slick, you're more successful. You know what I mean? And Angel Di Maria give him a lot of credit. Lay that ball off to Messi, and Messi knew what he needed to do. Hit it in the back of the net because they weren't able to create any type of good chances against the Mexican team. You got to give Mexico a lot of credit too for keeping them quiet for so long.
Yeah.
And before I forget, shout out to Andres Guardado. He had to come off. It brings up the question on whether Tata Martinez should have even started him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And Edson Alvarez should have been playing that game with his physicality, his youth, and everything.
Yep.
So Tata, former Argentinian manager himself, Argentinian native, he lost. He lost the battle on the day, and the Mexican fans are probably hating him right now. They want his neck, pretty sure.
Well, first regarding Messi's goal, yeah, he hit it with such force. He kept it low. He knew what to do, and there was no hope for Ochoa getting even a hand to that. And regarding Guardado, you stole what I was just about to say. I was a little bit perplexed because even though I thought Guardado on the day was all right, I don't know. I don't know why he was on there. He cannot play. He cannot play for 90+ minutes at that intensity, at the same intensity that the match was being played at. And I feel like also Hector Herrera, he was starting to leave some holes in behind in the midfield right at the end of the first half. I thought maybe Tata would see this and that Edson Alvarez would come on in for Herrera right at the beginning of the second, but that wasn't the case. And I don't know how he doesn't get any playing time at all today.
Yeah,
I thought he would have helped a lot.
He brought on Eric Gutierrez, but I think Tata also changed his setup at the back too, right?
He did.
Yeah, he played 5 at the back, which is ridiculous, and that's why they were so difficult to break down. But where there's a will, there's a way, man. And when you have skillful and magical players like Messi and Enzo Fernandez, a player that I've been talking about all season when I talk Champions League football for what Benfica have done, and they got into the round of 16, of course, and they've been one of the best teams in Europe so far this season, getting out of a group that had Juventus in there. You know what I mean? So. And this is no fluke thing. Enzo Fernandez has been in great form. And whoever picks him up, that's going to be a really good acquisition, man. And he didn't start the game. So you got to give credit to Lionel Scaloni for making those substitutions. Julian Alvarez. He made a few changes as well. But Messi and Enzo, they came up clutch. When they had the opportunities, they buried them in the back of the net. And that was a skillful goal by Enzo Fernandez, man. I was like, damn.
Yeah, he curled it.
Because you know what it was, though, to be honest? When I make a prediction, I want the prediction to happen, right? Because I feel like, I got it wrong again. And for some reason, it's nothing against Mexico or the fans or the players or anything. I just wanted Argentina to win because, guys, I predicted Argentina to win the damn World Cup. So if they were on 1 point or no points after 2 games. How that would have looked? You see what I'm saying?
Same here. Yeah, I
You
have
know,
them. I had them winning it
yeah.
too.
And I have to say, for a team that went 36 matches unbeaten to lose to Saudi Arabia, that was one of the most unexpected losses ever. But Herb Renard said it best. They underestimated Saudi Arabia, but when they knew that it's Mexico, they relished the battle even more because of numerous encounters in previous Copa Americas and so on and so forth. So and friendlies down there. Yeah, so they know Mexico, also another Spanish speaking country. Mexico wants to be like the South American nations as well. If you give Mexico a chance to join CONMEBOL tomorrow, they take it. They say, bye, CONCACAF. Thank you very much. We're gone. You know what I mean? They'll take it. Would they qualify from CONMEBOL? I don't think so. You see what I'm saying? But Argentina knew they had to play Mexico. They had to up their levels. And even though it took them until the second half to do so, 64th minute and 87th minute goal there. Messi also with the assist from the short corner. Argentina got the job done and they didn't let their fans down. But I have to say this, the job is not done. You don't want to do this and then play Poland and screw up.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to do what Germany did last time around, lose their opener, come back, tease like they're going to like when they beat Sweden in that second game. Oh, Germany's turning things around, and then they go soft body in the last game. There's a lot to respond to there. First, regarding Enzo Fernandez. Yeah, I mean he was clutch today. I wouldn't be surprised if Scaloni gives him the starting spot in the next game. I think he's earned it, and he got his substitution spot on in a way that Tata did not. And there is a part of me that feels that Mexico, despite how limited they are, and some of the disagreements I had with the squad selections that Tata called up for this tournament, some of the exclusions, I feel like if they had kept up that same high flair approach from the first half, because they were having success in the first 20, 30 minutes. They were getting the crowd revved up. There was a very lively atmosphere. I think there were moments where they were dispossessing Messi down the middle of the stretch, and they were causing a lot of problems for McAllister. You might have noticed on that right hand side. And I thought, oh wow, Mexico is they're feeling this, they're getting into this. And as the game dragged on, I was thinking maybe this is going to head for a 0-0 or something. But with the substitutions that Argentina made, with the tactical change that Tata made, Argentina just grew into the game, and the pressure mounted. And it just took those 2 moments of brilliance. It took those 2 moments of brilliance from Messi and Fernandez. And, man, Mexico only have themselves to blame. And what's so unfortunate for them is that I can't help but feel like if this was a Juan Carlos Osorio type of team, from 2018, maybe they do get that goal on the counter. Maybe they do get something. They're just really, really struggling with finding that sort of poacher, I think, in front of net. Because there were moments in this match that Lozano was isolated, and there was 3-4 Argentines swarming him, and no other Mexican player up the field. I'm like, what the hell is this? And the last thing I want to say is this is the first World Cup in quite a few cycles I read where they didn't call up a single player from the under 23s. This is mostly Liga MX guys. They're not bringing in the youngsters. And I think it's looking like it's gonna cost them their round of 16 streak, and it's really unfortunate to see. And a lot of the issues go back to the federation, but I think Tata's tactics in this match were cowardly. I have nothing nice to say about it.
Yeah, no Linez. I was surprised when Linez wasn't called up. You know what I mean? He's a player that could come on and do some good things. But look, Tata has 1 match left, 1 for Mexico. That game against Saudi Arabia. After that, he's done. Remember, I told you that.
Yeah.
Saudi Arabia, I think, stand a very good chance of getting a result against Mexico. Because
sure.
Mexico does not know how to score any goals. They haven't scored any at the World Cup so far. And that's unlike a Mexican team. You see what I mean? And if it wasn't for Memo Ochoa in the opening game, they would have lost that game as well. Mexico, I think, had a good game plan. I think they were looking to grind out a draw here, and they almost pull it off. 1 hour of good football, failure to close Messi down. The second goal, why is there nobody over there closing down Messi and co, allowing them to pass the ball around so easily, allowing Enzo Fernandez to do his thing and open up his body and score
Sure.
like that? You see what I mean? So it doesn't look, Mexico are not getting into the next round like this. They're not.
And it doesn't help that they have a manager who apparently can't wait to leave.
Because the thing to right, if we just go back, before we land the plane on Group C here, we take a look at the stats, right? Mexico currently have the worst goal difference in the group, right?
Yeah.
So even if they do go on to beat Saudi Arabia and go up to 4 points, are they gonna have a better goal difference than Poland? I don't think so.
I don't think so, man.
If Poland lose 2-0, right? Poland lose 2-1 or 2-0 to Argentina, 1-0, Poland would be in the driver's seat. And then Mexico, Saudi Arabia, the way they're set up right now, are not losing heavily. I'm gonna say if they lose, they're not gonna lose by a big margin.
Yeah.
So and Saudi Arabia needs to win that game.
Yeah.
So, right, and I don't. Let's wait and see what happens next week, though. But congratulations to Messi and Argentina. Remember, this is Messi's last chance to win a World Cup. He'll be about 38 and a half by the time the World Cup comes back around in 3.5 years' time. And yeah, bro, it's coming back in 3.5 years' time, not 4. So by the time you blink, it's here. And he wants this. He really wants this, but their destiny is in their own hands, and they're going to have to go out there against Poland and play very, very good. And they would want to go on to top the group, because if you don't top the group, then you have to play France in the round of 16, most likely.
Yep.
And you don't want that. You don't want the rematch. Maybe you do want the smoke. But you really don't want to play them yet. You want to avoid them. So you want to top the group so you avoid them in the next game. You see?
Yeah.
So look, you want to play most likely who's going to go through from France's group. We're going to get into that right about now. It could be Australia. It could be Denmark. You want to play Australia or Denmark. That's ideally who you want to play in the next round, 100%. And not France. So, yeah. So any closing thoughts on this group, this game?
Yeah, I think the second goal Mexico conceded what might be the killer, because I think at that point, once you're down 1-0, once Argentina is swarming you, you should start to think about goal difference. And that last one might have been like the one that kills them in the end. That's it.
All right.